Sure, just like in real life.
Just like in real life. And we'll kind of hit up on some of those ideas once we get everybody loaded up here. Any mathematic or setup questions so far?
I don't have any idea what my background is.
Okay.
I'll just roll a generic one out of the book, I guess.
Well, hang on. So before you go that far,
Okay.
There's a couple things we can talk about, and you guys should start to see a map of the Sword Coast in a minute or two.
Yep, got it.
Cool. Because what I want to talk about is where you guys are and kind of what the plot background that I've kind of dreamed up is, and see if that inspires you to say, hey, this would fit in, this wouldn't. Because you guys are going to be working in and around the Sword Coast. And the first part we're going to be talking about is down here. Right layer. Yeah, okay. Down here in Greenest, which is where the Tyranny of Dragons has begun. And Greenest is the big prize. So, Craig, I saw you join in, but I haven't heard a voice yet. Or did I?
I've been respectfully quiet.
Oh, don't do that. That's horrible. Make
Hey
lots of
Joe,
noise.
in game chat, I posted the background so you can peruse their bonuses real quick.
Oh, for the forge?
No, for your background. You said you didn't pick one yet?
I mean, I have an acolyte background I chose.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, never mind that.
But I will take your suggestions because, like I said, I am amenable.
No, do you? I just didn't know. Didn't know. That's fine.
Where'd you post it, like a few days ago?
No, just now in Roll 20.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look.
And on that note, we'll start talking a little bit about what's going on and then catch Dave up once he's back in. So the module we're going to be playing through as far as the big, bad, and ugly stuff will be Princes of the Apocalypse, which some people... Oh, Discord is updating from David. He will be with us in a moment. So I will stall for time. Aside from the backgrounds, is everybody got their stats laid out the way they think they want to be? Character sheets looking good? Any questions there?
I think I'm good in that regard.
Okay. Cool. This is super easy. Go ahead, Red.
I had taken the sailor background.
Okay.
Which gives me proficiency with water vehicles, but I wasn't sure if we would ever actually use anything like that.
So you may, and that's part of what I wanted to mention to you guys is, Red, you can see the Sword Coast picture, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look down around Baldur's Gate, a lot of what you guys are going to be doing is going to involve this river right here, which gets a lot of trade heading from Scornoble down to Bear Dusk, and then along the river here from Scornoble to Baldur's Gate. Once you're out at Baldur's Gate, you've got the entire ocean to work with, the entire Sea of Swords. And the majority of the actual Princes of the Apocalypse adventure is going to be further up the coast, in between the areas of Waterdeep, Red Lark, and Westbridge, up in here. So you guys will be traveling a fair bit, and one of the fastest ways to travel would be the long road to Waterdeep, Waterdeep, catch a boat along the Sea of Swords, down to Baldur's Gate, and then from Baldur's Gate, either the coastway south and then back up to Greenest, or along the river to Scornoble, down and back to Greenest. The other group will be facing similar traveling challenges to get back to home base. So that's part of what's going to chew up some of the time in the campaign is if you guys do need to return to home base, if you guys are taking a long break, going back, doing research, that sort of stuff, or you just need to get out of hot water for a while, you know, you've got a couple of weeks journey back and forth. Now, as you guys are doing that journeying, you will be able to do some basic research, take lessons, that sort of stuff. Major crafting you can't really do while you travel. So that's why most of the crafting I'm expecting to happen will be done by either NPCs that you sponsor or people you pay. But there will be some ocean and river travel for you. Probably not a lot of it, but it's there. And if you guys do, for whatever reason, decide that you want to sponsor a ship, that would then give you some advantages there. But Greenest itself, your target goal is in the middle of a plains area. The place where you'll be doing most of your real adventuring, there is a river that runs through it, right there. But the long road is really the main travel.
Did I miss the entire intro?
Nope, we're just talking little stuff.
Yep.
So
So I will say that the map is not showing up on the stream if it's supposed to be.
it is not yet. Sin will
Okay.
flip that back and forth for us when she gets a chance.
Cool.
But yeah, that's what you guys will be looking at as far as your adventuring areas for the campaign. Greenest down south near is the area where the prize is, the town of Greenest that is currently up for grabs. And then the bad guys are up in this Red Lark area, and you'll find out about that pretty soon. Now, my part of the campaign stuff is the contest for Greenest, which is basically going to be held between the Tuesday night group and the Thursday night group and the Sunday night group. Tuesday night group doesn't know about that yet because they're all playing around in Ravenloft. They'll figure that out later. So it's mostly going to be the Thursday night group and the Sunday night group. Tuesday night group's probably going to die. So the orphans have home field advantage. They are from Greenest. However, they're orphans. The only thing they've really got going for them is they happen to be in the right place at the right time and did a little bit of heroics. So they're kind of, sort of, not really the favorites of the town, except they're kind of orphans and were troublemakers, and there's a lot of complicated feelings about them. Your team, however, are the favorites of the surrounding areas. So the area that you're in is not run by one kingdom. It's run by a bunch of small towns scattered about. Baldur's Gate, up here being one of the biggest of them. But Baragost, Burdusk, Erebor, Scornoble, and itself to the south are all interested in what happens in the Greenfields, because that is part of the trade route between them. So, about a year ago, folks from Greenest said, hey, Escobar the Red, the dwarf who is the nobleman holding the keep in Greenest, is getting old. We've got troublemakers coming back, the orphans, and it'd be a real good time to have some heroes on hand to start building up a reputation to take over. So someone from Greenest headed out, and it can be one of you, or maybe not. And they said, hey, let's get together a group of heroes that we can start building up their reputation, and they're going to take over for Escobar the Red. So for the last year, you folks have gotten together, and you've paid visit to Baldur's Gate, to Scornoble, Baradusk, Erebor, Baragost, and you've sent runners to to basically make sure it's okay with everybody what you're going to do. You've explained your noble intent. You're going to improve Greenest. You've explained who you are, fairly reputable folk. And you've explained some but not all of your ideals. So they've said, yeah, you know what? You guys would be a good crew to take over Greenest to run things and manage things when, you know, Escobar is ready to step down. You just have to go earn his blessing. You know, he has to name you the heirs. No problem. Obviously, you're the right choice. But when you guys get there, you're going to discover that the orphans have kind of done what you were planning on doing, except they don't have that whole noble background and blessing. So it makes things a little bit complicated. That's going to lead into you guys looking for something to do, which is going to lead you to the troubles to the north. So that's kind of the plan. So what have you guys come up with as far as characters to fit into that sort of plan?
Well, I would say that the person coming to find us is a good hook for, let's say, a Joe and or a David character.
Okay.
I don't know what your guys' feeling on that is.
I mean, it could work if they're open to it. Thymos is very far from the northeast, like very far. So
let's start with Thymos.
Mission.
Let's start with Thymos a little bit. Thymos, I know you had written up you were an emissary from the far northeast.
Yes.
And it sounded you were more of a ideological, I think that's the right word, or spreading your vision more than an emissary of a particular government. Was that
correct? It's more of a, I guess you could call it a religious emissary, so more of a missionary type of deal, but not really at the same time.
Got it. You're not really here to convert. You're here
Correct.
to explain your position and make sure things are equitable and manageable on both sides. That, you know, nobody gets excited and starts, firing up the witch burning stakes.
Something along those lines.
Okay. So my thought is, as you're coming down, you would see, this group moving around trying to do basically the same thing you're doing, get on the good graces of this whole southwestern area, the heartland area, and fall in with them on that angle. Basically, we want to build a good reputation here, a good line of communication, so that if something comes up, they go to you. And having a permanent residence in Greenest, which is on one of the trade routes, would certainly be beneficial to you there.
Yes.
Cool. Now, David, I think when we were originally talking, you had mentioned you might want to take the noble background.
Yeah, that's what we figured.
Okay. And you are a elven noble?
Sure am.
Sure am. Okay. So elves in this area, the last stronghold of the elves is in the Sheridan, up a little northeast of Baldur's Gate. That is the last true stronghold of the elves in this area. And the feel among the elves is that humans are constantly encroaching. They breed like rats. So the elves would certainly like, in the Great Plains of Greenest, to prevent a human spread, more human occupation, and perhaps establish a foothold there. So certainly the elves would give you their blessing to go ahead and establish it. Now, the rest of the towns may be a little leery, but, an elven stronghold's kind of a neutral in that area. So that would not be something that would throw them off immediately. Plus, if the dwarf was anything to note, that just means you're going to live there for a really long time and probably die off without building an empire. Because that's what the dwarf just did, and they're also a long-lived race. Now, who else we got? Craig, how about we kick you in there?
Yo.
So we've got our human noble, We've got our elven noble. We've got our emissary, human from a foreign land. And then I know a bit of what you're going, but I'll let you introduce it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm Asimar that believes in the Dark Moon conspiracy, which just means that I want the Weave and Shadow Weave to align somehow to bring peace to everyone. I'm coming to Greenest because one of the only churches of Shar that is still practicing in the open is there. The part of my belief is that Shar, Saloon, and Mistra are all part of this, the connection to the Weave, so that the church or cult that I'm trying to set up would worship all three. And that's why I'm heading to Greenest. Other than those directives, pretty morally ambiguous or loose about how that gets done.
Sure. And then, so let's start pulling in the two that I don't know quite how fit in. Joe, I see you're muted. Are you able to talk?
Yes.
Okay. So Healy, I'll find new ways to pronounce that each time too. Healy, cleric, I think, and human.
Yes, variant human.
Variant
Worship's Gond.
Worship's Gond. Okay. A little bit of a tinkerer.
Right. Forge domain.
Okay.
My personality traits are I idolize a particular hero of my faith and constantly refer to that person's deeds and example.
Okay.
My ideals are faith. I trust my deity will guide my actions. I have faith that if I work hard, things will go well. And my bonds are I would die to recover an ancient relic that my faith that was lost long ago. And my flaws are my piety sometimes leads me to blindly trust those who profess faith in my God. And I was thinking, because I have, it's like, quite frankly, I have no idea why I would go to Greenest, but I was thinking I'm maybe searching for something related to the Forge of Gond or something like that I heard was around here. Healy's not a smart man. His intelligence is 8. So it's not like he's doing this based on any sort of intelligent, planning or anything like that.
He's smart.
And I was thinking that, maybe an aspect of him is he does not believe in magic. He believes that everything that happens is because of Gond. Like he just flat out, just like a flat earther, he just does not believe in the obvious that is around him. He does not believe in magic. He believes that even if a magic missile is cast, it's because of Gond has channeled something through him and is the power of Gond that has done it. So
how would we see that interacting with the others of the group? Because you guys will have had about a year to get to know each other on the road. I mean, it takes a while to cycle this loop that you've done.
Okay, you said that, but where are we meeting? Like, how are we doing that?
So the biggest town in the area is Baldur's Gate. So most likely you guys would have met up in Baldur's Gate. That's where kind of everybody's going to be. It's a big trade town. A lot of people go through it. And, if you want to learn something, that's where to go.
What's up with Scour Newbell? Because that's kind of in the middle of everything.
Sure. That is another good town to meet up. It's a little bit dicier. It's known as Caravan City. It's a huge trade stop. The population has dramatic swings, and it's fairly warm and temperate out there. So a lot of people, as they're traveling through, they don't even really stay in the city. They just sleep out with their caravans because that's one of the big meetup trading places for folks traveling the tradeway. It's the last spot for the caravans coming down from the north before they pick up on the rivers or split off. So there's a lot of stuff happening there. And it is a little bit dicier. You can see monstrous races in the streets. You can see them about. Yeah, I mean, all the big cities get a little bit dicey here and there, but this one's a little bit lax. Still a big trade place, though.
Well, I guess I guess it doesn't really matter if it's Baldur's Gate or Scorn, right? Because we got people coming from all over.
Yep. For Healy, and for let's try and talk about the gods and goddesses area. So Gond is a bit of a believer in technology. I think, according to the standard lore, Mistra and Gond don't get along particularly well. I think what I remember reading, Mistra suspects Gond tries to put technology above magic, but Gond, from what I remember, doesn't actually do that. He thinks magic's cool as long as it's used to drive forward invention and neat stuff. Do we think
for that?
Do we think in this Dark Moon set that we could tie in more of a balance or understanding between Mistra's aversion to technology and Gond's embracing of magic? Maybe understand that a common source of inspiration could be felt. Could we maybe pursue that angle?
So, at least from my perspective, for Gozer, he doesn't necessarily care or like the gods all that much. He just is more just more driven to try to line the weave in any way that can happen. He's down for, because he thinks the world is kind of going to hell and it's the god's fault. So he doesn't necessarily would argue with anyone's specific beliefs. And from, I don't know, like this kind of setting, I don't know how you would distinguish magic from technology. Right? They both do kind of cool things if you don't understand them.
They to the lay person, they're very hard to tell apart. To a scholar, it's similar to the difference between arcane magic and divine magic. It's still magic.
Two people who might care, right? So that's not me. It would be David Bedeau, because he's smart, and the person actually trying to build the technology.
Mm-hmm.
So Gozer would not care.
Okay. So Joe, how about that angle on for you for Gond? I mean, does that fit in? You mentioned maybe magic isn't really a thing. Maybe it's all technology. Could we maybe shift that to it's all the same?
Sure. I'm down with that. I don't think my character's sort of like a zealot, obviously. So he's basically, he's enamored with Gond, obviously, but he's not trying to push his beliefs on necessarily. If someone doesn't want to hear the word of Gond, that's fine. He's not like a Jehovah's Witness or something. Not the door.
Okay.
So,
sounds like
as far as why I would be tied into the party, I honestly don't know. Whatever works for you, Casey. Whatever's easiest. I was thinking maybe it could be there are means to an end, sort of. I mean, I'm not. I'm chaotic good, so it's not like I have an evil intention. I genuinely, want to work with the party to help them out, but I know at the same time they're an asset for me. They have value in getting me to Greenest and seeing what's going on.
Sure. Now, as far as a reason to be in Greenest, Greenest, you are aware, you guys are all aware, is fairly undeveloped. It's a town that had a real big high hopes and then went a little bust. So it's untapped potential. As a devotee of Gond, invention, automation, technology, all awesome things. So you might be looking at this as, hey, we could bring a lot of great stuff to Greenest, and who knows what these people could do if given some tools to get it done.
Sure.
You're looking at farm folk who, might be pulling the plow themselves rather than hooking the horse up to it. Not to insult the folk in Greenest, but they're not top notch just yet.
Sure, we could be the Tesla of Gond, of Greenest.
There you go. Spreading the news to the people. So let's ask our pirate.
Hi.
Happy Mother's Day.
David knows something, apparently.
So Aristana used to be a pirate. I kind of imagine her as being an elf who just like didn't get in on the whole like we're all in this together thing. She was like, I want to do what I want to do, and the ocean was a place to be free, and being with pirates meant she got whatever she wanted.
Okay.
And you know, being a woman about town, she eventually got pregnant, and then all of a sudden she had to think about somebody else. Kind of like that moment in Kill Bill. She realizes she's pregnant. And she's like, hey, none of this matters anymore. So she went off to a place where she knew it was quiet and nobody really knew her. And she took up this little provincial life. And her son loved hearing her stories. And they got kind of doctored because she didn't want to tell him about, well, yeah, we killed this guy and stole his gold and sunk his ship. So he grew up thinking she was this great hero. And when he died, because he was a sickly little kid, she decided she needed to go off and make him proud. She didn't want everything he thought of her to be a lie.
Okay.
So she's just out here trying to be good.
That sounds like a solid set for it. Now, of course, the thing to do to be a good person would be to take up with a heroic adventuring party. Baldur's Gate, Scornoble, certainly a place to hang about and find such a group. Now, I would say if you've had a little bit of a checkered past, you might want to take up with a group that's got a fairly easy to follow moral compass. Perhaps somebody who speaks the word of a good god, has a little bit of a slow thought process, perhaps, but always ends up in the right direction. A Healy?
Yeah.
Yay. Sounds good to me.
And of course, we have the elven folk. Now, our pirate, what race on the pirate?
Oh, hi, Elf.
High elf. So elven assistance as well. So a good effort on both parts. Now, your son was sickly and passed away. How long ago would you guess?
I'd say probably sort of recent. If you want to say that she had holed up in one of these little towns on this coast, that would be fine. Just wandering around trying to find people to be good with.
Fair enough. And here's the follow-up to that particular question. Assuming your son was alive for a few years and so on, would there still be warrants, bounties out for you, would you guess? Did you have that checkered of the past?
I kind of figured they were sort of like low-key pirates. They're not like, she wasn't part of, Blackbeard's crew or whatever. More like just the little guys that take what they can get, maybe smuggling. So I doubt anybody would really know her. Maybe if I was on like if I was in a port town and there was people from somewhere else, someone might recognize her, but I never really thought of it as being something where they were particularly successful.
Fair enough.
Ethiopian pirate.
Doing what you got to do to survive and maybe pick up a little extra gold along the way. So let's see here. We've got our emissary, we've got our noble, we have our pirate turned privateer turned hero, perhaps. We've got a cleric of Gond who's doing the right thing.
Who's the emissary? I'm sorry.
Thymos the emissary.
Ah.
Thymos the emissary. So anything balancing wise, so that gives me a good idea as to what your motivations may be.
In the case of the Elven, it's the power. He's power hungry.
He's a little power hungry?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, Greenest, of course, if you want power and you want money, the thing to get is land. It is to get people working for you. And that is what Greenest represents, a potential place to capture. Now, to get that place, you're going to need influence, you're going to need a great reputation, and you're going to need some gold. And the best place to do all of that is to take out bad guys, because bad guys have those things, and the good guys don't mind if you take that and redistribute it. So, we will head up in that direction. Now, as far as tactically, so we'll drop to the fully out of character side and just discuss real quick. I know you guys have talked a little bit about your stats with each other. Do we have a reasonable balance amongst you guys? Do you kind of know, because you would have been traveling again together for about a year? Anything you want to put forward as you do this or you don't do that?
Authority is just a way to stick it to the commoner.
Okay.
So down with the man.
Down with the man. Now, if you're the man or one of your friends is the man, is that okay?
So long as it's for the greater good of everybody. As
Fair
soon as
enough.
it stops being for everybody, it's no longer okay.
Okay. So David, as the elven noble who is making the effort on behalf of the elves, who at this point are being driven out of their lands, is that in line with the two of you?
I mean, that's perfectly fine with me. I mean, he's trying to save his people, which is for the greater good of his people. So that's acceptable. I can see that.
Sure.
Wait, did he say he's trying to save his people, or is he just trying to gain power? Because I feel like you guys gave that to him.
David, what do you think?
Well, if I'm gonna be asked if I want to save the people, I will say yes. But you know,
Well, out of character, like, it doesn't seem like something like in character. Yeah, you always say, "Well, sure, yeah, of course." But like out of character,
Is
like,
it
as
for
we're
the
just talking
power?
now, yeah, like it didn't seem like that was his why he's coming down out of the mountain.
So, David, let's dive a little further on that one. Once you have the power, what do you do with it?
Keep the power.
Well, you keep the power, but what do you do
increase
with
it, and then
Okay.
you know,
There you
take over
go.
the next one over.
Okay.
Boom. Love it.
So you are looking to expand the elven nation, or your own personal nation?
My own personal relation. Well, I did roll my my bonds and all that wonderful stuff, and that seems to be in line with what's going to be happening.
Okay.
Because it seems
like
that, in
yourself.
fact, the world does revolve around me.
The world does revolve around you. You are an elven nobleman. And what would you say your alignment is with that angle? I mean, your rule. So let's ask your rule, your personal view. What will, aside from you gaining power, what do the people around you, do they benefit? Do they suffer? Do you not care?
Oh, I'll redistribute.
Redistribute.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I will redistribute. Jesus.
For those of you watching at home, David is a French Canadian.
But beyond that, is it feasible that he thinks that the best way to protect everyone is for him to have the power?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems like a neutral good type deal.
Yeah. That fits in real well. I just wanted to make sure that once you had the power, what were you planning to do with it? I mean, you may certainly be the most qualified to tell others how to live better lives. A lot of people feel that way. As long as you actually believe that you're helping others to lead better lives by putting you in that position of power. And that doesn't seem like it would really conflict with anyone else until or unless you ran away with it and were no longer working towards the greater good.
I will definitely be the greater good and trying to expand it to the next town over, and trying to get the other people protected under my wing, and
On the downside, the next town over from Greenest is about 100 or so miles away, so it probably won't be the next town over for a long time.
Well, that doesn't
But-
mean I cannot do some settlement in between.
Absolutely. You can certainly expand Greenest into a thriving metropolis. Or a thriving set of hamlets. Would have to look at that one and see how your elven backing would prefer. All right. What do you mean, Tristan?
That part has not been figured out in my end. I'm not sure how I got out of the elven, mountain. I gotta think about that.
Sure, absolutely. So, as you give that some thought, we'll pull that because you'll have plenty of time between when we kick off and when you really start coming into your own to sort out how your characters' lives got you to this point. Now, has anyone... Go ahead.
His background, the Eladrin, is basically a high elf, but just a high elf that's been stuck in the mountain.
Sounds
So
good.
I would assume the pirate and him kind of see eye to eye on stuff.
Now, aside from our pirates' checkered past, does anyone have anything stand out that they've done in the past? Is there anything that they would be noted for as a thing they have or have not accomplished?
Well, I wouldn't say that this is a particular accomplishment of any sort, but Thymos, being from where he's from, he stands out a lot. We're
Okay.
talking white hair, very pale, like almost pure snow white skin. Clothing he wears isn't very common to the area.
Okay.
So he draws some attention, just kind of naturally, but nothing in his past really that he's done to draw attention to himself.
Okay. So more for just who you flat out are than something you've done. You took the what is it? Outsider, Outlander,
Far traveler.
Far Traveler.
So the feature of it basically allows me, I don't have it in front of me right now, but
That's
it
all right.
essentially, other people are interested in me, whether it be nobles, scholars, just the common folk. People are
Sure.
interested in where I'm from, what I'm doing here, that kind of thing.
Sounds good. Anybody else have it? Good.
I would say that I don't know about something I've accomplished, but along the lines of what I get used to Thymos had said, the past is very not checkered, but interesting. Like there's definitely been a traumatic event. I'm the last of my line, so I don't know what that event is. But I don't really have family, and this is really just a starting point. And that event is very haunting, and I use that to rally people to my side.
Okay.
And I also look very weird, but not as weird as Thymos. I just have no pupils.
All right. So it's a unique looking and attention grabbing group. It seems, which of course would be to your benefit as you start to build that reputation. As
Sure.
long
We're peacocking. Yeah.
you are definitely doing that. And I see. Let me just excuse me as I do a quick catch up. Somebody posted 2 or 3 paragraphs here in the chat, and they used words I like gravitas. Cool. Macabre Derek, thanks for joining in. Love the feedback, and we'll catch you up from there. So let's see here. Joe, I know you like going with the flow. I'm going to poke fun at you for a moment.
Yo.
Anything in the background that you want to throw up there? Anything you want to say, hey, I do or did not do this thing?
Can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
I would say, as far as how I look, one thing that makes me stand out is I'm wearing a big old sun hat, like a 80-year-old woman would wear on the beach,
Okay.
or a ginger like myself.
Fair enough.
And I'm wearing these red saffron robes that are going under my armor in almost comical fashion.
All right. So again, a unique look. Healy, what's a charisma sort of like for you?
It's probably piss poor. Let's see what it is. Charisma is 10.
10, so not piss poor. So you're not entirely comical looking. But we'll go with that. So let's see here. Craig to David. David, anything that you would like to have been known to do or not to do as you reached this point?
I'm not sure I'm following your question.
Sure. So is there anything stand out in your background, like anything you would like to have done as a child, as a young adult, or as an adult? Elves live for a long time, that you might brag about or that someone might know?
You'll have to give me a little time on that.
Sure, not a problem. So if you think of anything, let me know. Now, let's see here. Let me try and get the name right. Aristana.
Yes.
I know there's some things that you have bragged about because you told your son. Give me the one that maybe your son might have echoed to his friends. So what is the thing that you bragged about that you really want to make sure you get done so that it is honest?
Give me a sec on that one.
I'm putting everybody on the spot today. So let's see here. All right, so we'll get a little feedback there. And let's see here. Did anyone take any particular enemies, friends, associates that I should know about? Does anyone have a declared enemy, vengeful, wrathful, or otherwise?
I don't think so. Not for me.
Okay.
So, Thymos does have a bit of a superiority complex.
Okay.
Not a huge one, but enough of one to be potentially noticeable.
Okay.
I've been kind of planning on keeping that kind of low key, as in he kind of looks at the person next to him and sneers, kind of thing. Just like, what are you doing? This is not normal, kind of deal.
Okay. And let's see here. Is anybody doing anything way outside the Wizards of the Coast stuff that I should know about to make sure I have on hand to research? I think it's so far everybody's backgrounds, etc., sound pretty book standard, but was there anything that we were going to be asking about?
I don't think so. I think you
think so.
gave us the constraints of anything published Wizards of the Coast material.
Yep.
And I think we've all stuck with that.
Yep. As long as there wasn't some oddball UA thing that I have not read yet.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, for the mechanically, my subclass is UA.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I caught it and read it, so that's
Okay.
all cool.
But
Yeah,
beyond that, yeah.
It'd be one of those things that, oh, hey, in this UA article that mentions this one thing, it's there, so that I at least know to read it, so I'm not completely stumped when it comes out.
Yeah.
Why would we give you the heads up for that?
I'm just hoping.
Yeah. So I will let you know that some of my invocations might end up coming from some UA material.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But otherwise, I'll try to keep it Xanathars and PHP.
Sure. I think I'm caught up on most of the spells and invocations. It would be something oddball that maybe, or I don't think I've read through all the Skag stuff recently, so something like that might throw me.
Yeah.
But even when you know it's coming, like a spiritual guardians, it still trips you up.
Yeah, fortunately, Skag is mostly spells and background.
Yep. All right, cool.
Let's see. Can I say that normally, like, my character will probably just always have mage armor on? Like, I'm just gonna have a spell slot just down, probably the whole time, just as a memory. Is that okay?
Mage armor's 8 hours at a pop.
Yep.
So you'll be down 1 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon.
Yep.
Yep. So as long as you keep to that and just mark it down, you're set to go. And if for some reason that gets dispelled, you mark the second one down.
Sure.
No problems there. Anybody else have stuff that's going to be constant maintenance?
I'll probably be every long rest either giving my armor +1 or my weapon +1 or someone else's armor or weapon +1, depending. Probably the tanks, I'll give them +1 armor.
Sure. That forge trick?
Yeah.
Just make sure you mention who's got it before we get into combat.
Yeah, I'll keep track of that. It's my responsibility to do it.
So Craig, why is the no, not Craig, I mean Casey. Sorry, man.
No worries, bro.
The dwarf that were in greenest, what's the reason for them not to have any air?
So Escobar the Red, he reluctantly took the title when his friend the halfling, I think her name is Darva, passed away, and he just never had an interest in having kids or a family or even being in greenest. He kind of doesn't like it. Greenest is not a place for a dwarf. It's plains with bad soil for digging in. He can't make anything. He can't even get the keep settled because the stone has to be trucked in, carried in by caravan from places with better bedrock. So he
where is he from?
He is from somewhere else, and we'll figure out where he's from, because I don't know. But I will by the time we catch up with him. I would imagine he's from one of the mountain clans. He is of the Red clan, I decided, because he's Escobar the Red. So he's of the Red clan. I think the Red clan is probably from the mountains. We'll figure out which set of mountains that might be. Were you looking to take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think I might use that for my background, actually.
That you are aware of his family?
Yeah, somehow, somewhere, since I'm from also the hills, somehow I was, I lost my title from where I was, and I had to move in, and now that he's there, trying to take over whatever he is doing.
Fair enough. How old of an elf would you think you are?
I would see myself pretty old, actually.
Go for an older elf? Okay. So you might have been hearing about this for a long time, and your efforts within the Elven realms where you were may have never paid out, but Greenest has always just kind of been sitting there, and you're always like, I should really do something about that, and maybe now's the time. Escobar is getting older. He has not declared an heir, and you heard rumor from Greenest that they're looking for someone to help them. And it doesn't sound like any of the parties really going to fit well as the person from Greenest. So we'll have that be someone who found some of you, got you guys together, and started this whole set. Is there anyone that you would like to have? First of all, does anyone have any followers built in with either their background or their selections?
I mean, I'll take some if you'll let me.
We'll start with are you due any? David, the noble background has a possibility, but if you take it, then you lose your noble hospitality.
And they're a pain in the butt to upkeep.
And they are a pain in the butt, and I will kill them.
I mean, it's pretty clear that I don't want them now.
Followers are great, but I just want to let you know, I'm a mean person. Okay. And is there anyone that you guys would think of that might have a relationship with you guys that you want to be that NPC, that person from Greenest, to lean on? There are elves in Greenest, so it could be, a non-noble family member, David, of your character. It could be perhaps one of the shipmates from our pirate friend who said, hey, I heard you wanted to do some good deeds. Here's a town that needs some help. And maybe you were the one who met up with the elf David and sort of started that thing. Is there anyone that wants to be the connecting point?
Run through that again?
Sure. So basically, anyone who wants to be the connecting point to Greenest. Somebody was the first contact. And the person from Greenest, or it could be multiple people, maybe they were an old shipmate of the pirate. Maybe they were a distant relative of the noble. Maybe they were a Gondite. Gondolin, Gondolier. Don't know how to do that one.
Me neither.
So maybe they said, hey, Healy. A Gandhi? I liked Gondolier, actually. But
Me too. I was a fan of Gondolier.
Wait, is Thymos supposed to be here to develop goodwill between his people and the people here?
Yes. It seems that way.
Thymos is kind of just here for, realistically, his own purposes. I mean, his stuff is more religion bent than it is actually like building goodwill between my land and the land down here.
So as an emissary, it would be what's the term? It's not social emissary, but basically to help them understand your customs so that when they're encountered, they're not so outlandish they're dangerous.
Not so much, no.
Not so much that, okay.
It's more religion bent than that. It's more along the lines of Gozer's motivations of the weave is the weave. It's not the shadow weave and the normal weave.
Okay.
It's one of those things of these things aren't really classified all that well, or shouldn't be classified, I should say.
Okay.
So, question for you then.
Yeah.
Does Gozer then know you? Did I meet up with you?
I would have to say yes, that we probably ended up...
It sounds like that.
Being one of those things of we ran into each other, we started talking, you probably approached me because I looked weird to you, I probably talked to you because you looked weird to me.
Sure. And all right. Did then the person in Shard, did I learn that from you or the other way around?
So, say that again.
All right, so there's a person in Greenest, there's a Church of Shar, right? And it's one of the only open Shar churches in the land.
You might have found that out through other sources because Thymos is I wouldn't say he's a worshiper of Saloon because that implies that he follows the order involved with that.
Gotcha.
But I would say that he is a follower or a believer in Saloon.
Sure. No, I totally get that.
Because she is kind of just a patron of travel as well, and considering the distance that he's traveled.
Mm-hmm. So definitely similar bent, right? Like, so I'm not necessarily a huge follower of Shar, Saloon, or Mistra, but like hearing your outlook, how it aligns very much with Gozer's, definitely like, oh, okay, cool. Like this guy gets it.
Yeah, we might have known each other as for a few months at by the point where we're going to greenest and that kind of stuff.
Cool. So yeah, definitely I may have slipped about the Shar thing, why I want to go there, but it may not have been like, may have been like one of like many things we could have done. But definitely, yeah, this guy's cool. Let's travel with him because I could set up anywhere. All right, so which way are we coming from? The north?
It seems like you guys will probably be traveling from the north down towards Greenest. And I think that'll be good because that's where there'll be some adventures encountered. So I think Swernoble heading down the tradeway, planning to come around to the southwest and enter Greenest that way, will be the way you guys are traveling as you set out. Now, the religion talk is certainly a draw point for you folks, and the information on the Temple of Shar, it's sort of an open secret. It's not a temple. They don't have a big building with a shrine or a altar inside it. It's an orphanage, actually. It's the Warren of Unwanted Burdens, run by a declared Shar priest or an acolyte, and everybody knows that the orphans, as they come out of it, are troublesome. They tend to go on to do bad things, and the people passing through Greenest on the trade routes know not to, one, mess with the orphans, and two, certainly don't invite them to come along with you, because that's why they're called unwanted burdens. All they are is trouble if you take up with them. So you catch that sort of thing, and maybe it's just some of the traders coming through Greenest that happen to have mentioned it to you. You overheard them cursing about those damn Shar-loving orphans. And then somebody comes along and says, "Hey, Greenest needs help," and you say, "Wait a second. I know I've heard Shar there. Now they need help. There's an opportunity. But let's talk about getting some of the rest of you guys hooked in on that one." Red will pick on you, and I'm going to start calling you guys by the right names soon. Say it for me.
I can just shorten it to Eris. We were talking about that anyway, because I haven't been able to settle on names and features.
Okay.
So if that makes it a little easier, because I'll probably forget her name is Aristana.
Aristana. I'm going to do it wrong 100 times, by the way.
You just call her Eris.
I still can't get Kyra's right. Kira's right. I got it wrong. And
Kieran?
No, it's
Kitty?
No. it's yeah. No, we're just gonna.
I know
she'll help me later.
No, I know. I'm just messing with her too.
So, Aristana, where do you think you would have gotten the hook in? Keeping the ear out that, oh, hey, Greenest needs help, something needs settling, or would it have been more of a, looking to sign up with an established group? Do you think you would have been a group starter or a group follower?
I would figure probably follower. You had mentioned earlier, like maybe hanging out with someone who's a, man of a known good god. And if it's cool with Joe and Healy, I kind of like the idea that they met up somewhere, and she was like, "Oh, you've got this good thing figured out. You'll help me, right?"
I got your back, yo.
There you go. So pairing up the two of them for the moral compass, absolutely. And then David, as the noble one, the man with the plan, finding these do-gooders, which you need, finding these with an interest in Greenest and the lands around, and perhaps in having influence over an area with their own temple and their own followers. It sounds like you're the one who put the 2 and 2 together and came up with 5.
The men of the hour.
There you go. Awesome. So I think that gets us together. I think that gets us heading on our way from Scornoble down towards Greenest. Any equipment questions? Any can I buy, can I have kind of questions?
So, I know we talked very briefly about this, but the whole thing about replacing the necrotic with radiant damage things for the hexblade that I'm playing.
Okay.
Did we really ever settle on that? Because I don't think that we did.
The only set that I had was Saloon can use necrotic if she chooses. She is not banned from using it.
Okay.
So my thought to you was, if you felt that that this was a balance play, that it wasn't, eliminate the dark, it was more of a combine, I would say stick with the necrotic, because you are maintaining the balance. You're using necrotic when necrotic's appropriate, radiant when the radiant's appropriate. If you think it's more of a eliminate the dark, then go radiant.
The more I hear about Thymos, the more I'm on board. This guy freaking gets it. Balance the whole deal. He's awesome.
Yeah, and balance is... Yeah. Balance is probably more accurate, because it's forcing a particular category or order onto something isn't really kosher.
Okay.
I mean, the darkness does exist for a reason, but that might be just my natural, more neutral thinking.
Dark.
So...
It's a fact. This guy gets it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a, just let it be what it is what it is. So long as it's not hurting people.
Sounds good. So, let's see how this looks.
So, Casey, are you going to give us a little reading of what's happening, like, when we start today, or is it going to be next session?
So let's actually you've got some important roles to do, because I did give the other group an opportunity to earn some neat toys when they started out, and I'm not going to deny you the same. So here's the choices you have. You can call a number and roll 1d100, and if you get the number you called, you get something kind of cool. Or you can call a number, roll a 1d1000, and if you get the number, you get something really cool. And by cool, I mean it's probably going to have magical properties.
Okay, so what happens when we don't get them?
If you don't get them, you don't get that special bonus. No harm, no foul. Just you don't start off with, a family heirloom that might have a word plus to it.
Did anyone ever get their number?
They have not yet got their number. However, they did roll the D100 and successfully roll 100 and pick up some not permanent magical, but nice toys. But it is a decidedly high risk. To let you know, the D100 prizes are limited uses. Things like scrolls, things like wands with a few charges. The D1000, if you happen to hit it, is the more permanent sort of stuff.
So, is there anything for getting close?
Nope, nothing for getting close. It is a 1 in 100 shot of something reasonable, or a 1 in 1,000 shot of an unfair advantage.
I call whatever number I roll.
It doesn't quite go that way.
If we have divination dice, can we use those?
Not on this one.
Okay, I'm calling 78 for a D1000. Here we go.
78 on a D1000.
Damn it.
Oh,
It helps
reverse
if
the
you
roll.
actually do the slash in the right position.
Okay, 78. Here we go.
78.
Oh, 478.
There's a 78 in it. There's a 78 in it. That should get him something.
That's
Just
awesome.
had an extra 4.
That's awesome.
So close.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Come on.
There you go.
Come on. You have no heart.
I have no heart. I am a heartless person.
No, and no.
Evil
Oh,
overlord.
that was close.
Go ahead, Dave.
Let's say I'm gonna call it 1,000.
Go big or go home.
1,000 on the nose?
No, I'm gonna call, let's say, 751.
751. That is the lucky number. Let's see, a D1000.
Holy shit!
No, he
Fuck off.
forgot the D. He forgot the D.
Nope, not happening.
Nope. That's not 751.
Go big or go home. That's it.
Anybody else want to make their calls and make their rolls?
886.
886. Everybody's going for the long shot, all right?
No.
Let's see. Craig, have you rolled?
No. This is an impossible task.
Do it.
Give me another
mean-
data point anyhow. Roll it.
You got a 1 in 1,000 chance. Come on.
I don't know. 711.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, if you guys are going for the D100 and there's 5 of you, that's a 1 in 20 chance that one of you would get it.
No, that's not how
No,
math
it's
works.
not. That's not how it works at all. Because every single one of them is picking at different
Yeah.
numbers.
And it actually increases the probability, not decrease. If we all picked, if like the numbers decreased, like okay, we can now subtract this number from the pool, then maybe we'd have an increased chance. But even then, it would be like 1 out of 995.
Yeah, and I would expect like a wand of unlimited improved fireballs to if I got the 1 in 1,000.
Let's see. I am going to call 632.
632.
Nope.
If there's a 6 and a 2, I feel like
There's a 6 and a 2. But
should
not
get something.
quite what we're looking for here.
even if
All
it's
right.
like you got a broken wand, you should get something.
All right, so let's do a little practice here.
So what if Joe had called at like 748 and it came up 478?
It's like to pick 3 straight in box.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at dragging you guys over. So I'm going to drag you to a new page. It may take a little bit to load. Or maybe I can't. Let's try that a different way.
So David,
Yes, sir.
the cool thing about your character is you're going to get a lot of feats or chances to improve the character. Since you already have an 18 dex out of the gate, you're basically going to be taking feats almost all the time. One thing you might want to consider at 4 is if you're going to go more damage with like the sharpshooter feat or something like that, or get more utility with something like ritual caster.
You know
Some-
me. Every single level, I'm gonna request your help. So
There's no real choices until
that's right. I don't have a
4.
choice. You make the choices for me.
Fair enough, man.
Just so you know, Craig is the best one to make a character. So people, if you ever have a camping with him, just ask him to make the character. He makes the best one.
All right, so
I mean, he has.
Ash
said
is also
that
really good.
we-
we're gonna break in some dice here. We're gonna see how things are working so far.
Didn't we just break them in?
Yeah, we'll warm them up a little bit more. Maybe we should have done this part first. So let's go ahead. I'm going to drag a couple of folks over here. Icons will be cleaned up and straightened out. Healy, we're gonna get those guys. All right, everybody should, I think, be able to see the map.
Yep.
And they should be able to see 5, maybe 6 kobolds hanging out in an abandoned keep nearby. All right, you all should have control of your characters. Do me a favor and just scoot left and right. Make sure you do.
Which one is playing the one with the glove?
That is Healy. Healy McFeely.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Me likey.
So we're supposed to be ordering ourselves how we want.
Actually, it's probably not going to matter, but yeah, go ahead and line yourselves up as you would prefer, heading north to south on the road. And once you guys got yourselves squared away, do me a favor and go ahead and add yourselves to the turn order.
We shall.
Oh, new campaign, new macros.
New macros, all those reminders that all of a sudden we're like, oh, we didn't add these in yet.
Yep.
So, I'll bring up a couple of kobolds here. Our practice kobolds.
There we go.
I don't know what this does.
Helps if I actually click on my person and click on the initiative.
All right, and gonna go ahead and sort the turn order. Ooh, we got some fast kobolds.
Yes, we do.
All right. And what I think is happening, you guys are traveling south. You are heading towards Greenest along what should be a fairly well-managed road. There's not patrols fairly frequently, but there's enough trade that the guards scare away, or at least report, most of the troublesome creatures. However, pouring out of this abandoned keep, this ruin, is a horde of kobolds. As they rush forward, chittering and screaming, they start to close the distance 25, 30 feet. Aristana, I think you are the nearest.
Yep.
So the kobold launches a slingstone at you. You are within range, so it is a standard attack. Does a absolute failure hit you?
No.
I didn't think it would. Let's see. And one of the things that I will be doing is you will start seeing monster names, not on my particular set of test kobolds here, but very soon. And one of the indicators you guys will be seeing, red health bars mean that the monster has no ability to do death saves, meaning if it dies, it's just flat out dead. Green health bars mean that you do have a save. Being the only one within range, Aristana, you get a second kobold slingstone hurled at you. Ooh, how about a 22?
That will hit.
That will hit, doing 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
I realized.
So 4 points of bludgeoning damage to you. And let's see here. That's going to bring up kobold number 3, who's got a long way to travel. It's an odd name, number 3, but his parents weren't very inventive. This one's
Now
coming
this-
in.
I don't think it was
The
plural.
chittering. Was
Mhm.
it was it draconic by chance, or was it just
It is a draconic slang.
Okay.
Basically, you hear, "Go get him,"
Gotcha.
and then a sling stone hurled at you, Thymos.
Thymos. Yes.
Thymos, thank you. I'll get it in a little bit. This one at disadvantage due to range. 15?
We'll miss.
Will miss, and that's going to bring up Vicky Ocho.
I shall attack.
You shall attack. And who shall you attack? Front,
I'll
middle?
take the first one. Is this that?
That pile of wood right there is not going to give you too much trouble.
Okay,
They're small, but they're not really hiding behind it.
Okay. Should I move? That's my real question. Before
I would take a step up if you want to get a clear shot.
right here.
Oh yeah. Right down the line.
And okay, then let's go here. Does a 20 hit?
A 20 does hit that kobold. He is not wearing much in the way of armor. And those 5 points of piercing damage are enough to quickly render him dead. Anything
Goodbye,
else for you?
sibling of Ram.
Oh. Oh. Oh dear. His name was you. It's Ram's sister.
So we have Ram U.
EWE. No?
Okay.
It's a visual joke told verbally. It didn't work out real well.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Ram U.
Both work.
Yeah.
Vicky, any additional action for you?
No, that's about it.
That's it.
It's too much of a woman's name. I don't like it.
All
I
right.
might change the name.
Change it up.
Just so you guys know.
If you don't like the way it looks, now's the time.
Casey, you have a D20 for the kobolds.
I have a D20 for the kobolds. Thank you. All right, so that's it's a D20 reroll for the kobolds. That's gonna be nice. So let's see what we got here. We got 20 feet, 25 feet. We got 30 feet. A little too far. Thymos, you look a little more dangerous at the moment. Weird looking fella. You're gonna get the sling stone.
Bring it. That'll be a miss.
10's gonna be a miss. You know what? I'm gonna use up my D20 right away. I don't want to forget about it. Let's use
So,
that.
question.
Yeah.
Does a critical hit always hit, or would shield allow me to...
A
miss?
critical hit always hits, but I've got to re-roll it because that would be cheating for me to take the second one. So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna hit the button again. And a 23 though.
I will shield.
Okay, does your shield take you 24 or above?
Yes, it does.
Ooh, good shield. The kobold looks stunned that rock didn't hit you right between the eyes like it was supposed to. But then Thymos, you get to do stuff. What you doing?
Thymos is a little mad that he's getting pelted. So, he's going to move up. And actually, the way he's going to move up is he's going to move right there. And he is going to start off by engaging the closest one.
Alrighty.
And what he is going to do is he is going to use his longsword.
Longsword drawn
Which
and
will
swung.
miss.
Ooh, 7 is gonna miss. Anything else for you?
You know what? Bonus action. I am going to Hexblade Curse. I'll just pop that in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I will Hexblade Curse this kobold.
That kobold. He is now the subject of a hex. I think your hex might look like that. Maybe. I don't know. What do we got? What's a good hex?
Jonah.
Oh, that's. We'll do that one. There you go. Devil
Yeah,
Angel
that
Wings.
works.
There
That
we go.
works.
Let's see here. That's any additional action for you. Otherwise, Healy McFeely, what do we got?
All right. How's Aris look? Aris, are you like almost dead? That 4?
I have 7 hit points left.
Oh, you know what? Let me.
You're fine.
Oh, you haven't enabled the.
I have not. I'm going to do that right now. That's a good thing. So now everybody should be starting to see some names and health bars.
Wow, you guys have a lot of HP.
Thymos came and reorganized my character. I did not have a lot of HP when I first.
Yeah, that 4 would have taken her down to half health if I hadn't have reorganized stats.
I want to be pretty, charismatic. He said no.
I said you could be pretty but not charismatic.
He said it was better. It was better
Healy,
to
I'm
not be
seeing a little
charismatic.
indecision there. What are we doing, Healy?
Okay, Healy's gonna move up.
Okay.
Boom.
That is a kobold right next to you.
Good. Just where I want him. For Gond. 12?
Ooh, a 12 is just enough. Yes, please roll. Oh, the damage already there. 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Yeah, there is. You have gonded him.
That's right. I call that a smashing success. I think one of my things I want to make little quips after I kill anyone.
This is going to be quality. I can feel this.
Yes, the quality is incoming.
I can
feel it.
I can feel it. Yes.
I can feel it in my bones.
Oh, this is going to be so bad. Any additional movement or action for
They
you?
will love it.
Any additional movement or
It's a
action?
good
Oh,
joke.
no matter-
I recognize that joke. That joke funny.
Get the reference. I'm out of movement, and that is my main action, no bonus action.
Got it. Gozer, I see you hanging out back there. What do you got?
We shall attack this poor soul.
Hit punch generate more kobolds. Damn Dev.
A 12 does hit, but only 2 damage. And which one are you aiming at? Show me again.
Back
Yo.
one.
Back one it is. 2 damage struck. Kobold looks a little toasty, but still standing. Gozer moves back.
We are done.
All right. That's going to bring up some kobolds coming out. Stepping up alongside Thymos, taking advantage of their pack tactics as they draw daggers. And you know what? The DM's an idiot and just realized these guys are all at disadvantage. So the pack tactics just brings it up to even. Apparently it was overcast, just a few seconds ago. Now the sun has broken out. So standard attack dagger. Ooh, 20?
That actually touches me.
That touches you. 4 points of damage struck. As the
And
kobold.
shield is the spell that lasts only until my turn begins.
Till your
correct?
turns. Yep.
Yeah. Yep, until the start of my next turn. Okay. Cool.
All right, and that's going to bring up our final kobold. Rushing out. Doing the kobold pile thing on Thymos. Advantage and disadvantage due to the sun and the pack tactics. So a normal attack dagger.
Miss.
17 is a miss. Good armor. Aristana, comes to you.
I'm gonna move right there.
Diving in there.
Rapier?
Shot.
That's a good shot, absolutely.
one?
And lowest, middle, high. Or lower
Um,
middle.
I was just gonna go for the one in front of me. That's
You got it. Absolutely. He drops like a stone.
Okay, and let's see. If it dies, I regain hit points equal to my warlock level plus my charisma modifier. So guess what? I gained those 4 hit points back.
I believe it. Sorry, Aristana, anything else for you?
no.
Okay. And that's going to bring up a dead kobold and a dead kobold and a living kobold. Living kobold's going to step up. Seeing Aristana, the dangerous one, strikes at her. Advantage and disadvantage canceling out. Oh, yeah. These kobolds just can't lay a finger on you. That's going to bring up Himo.
Hymo. Do it up. I like it better.
Fair enough.
Me too.
I shall move
Okie doke.
down here, so I have a clear shot.
Oh shit, my man Dev getting points for ideas. Good job.
Should go down a little bit. One here.
All
Yeah.
right, give me a
Do
shot.
I have a clear shot?
Yeah, we're gonna say clear shot for now.
Just so the people doesn't know Craig, not Craig, but the Casey. He's only nice on the first session. After that, he's ruthless.
Yeah, it gets I get mean quick. Though I will ask. No, you don't have a sniper feat because you are an elf. So can't have feats yet.
Ooh,
But
does that
fire.
hit?
Oh boy.
I believe yes.
Yes,
And,
yes, it does.
Right through the eye, out through the ear.
It just brings along a little bit of
The brain
ocular
matter.
cavity with it. He is a very dead kobold. Hymo, any additional movement or bonus action for you?
No, I'm gonna move back. No, I don't have more movement. So no, I'm done.
Done and done. That's going to bring up a dead kobold and then Thymos.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm going to go for this kobold.
Fair enough.
And I really need to fix these macros. So we will sort them.
Yes, you
22
will.
for 4.
Yeah. Well, oh, he will stay standing.
That's perfectly fine.
He is wobbly and hurt, but still standing. Any additional bonus action or movement for you?
Nah, I'll stay where I'm at.
You got it. Healy McFeely, it is to you.
Healy McFeely. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Do we have advantage in this game? For flanking or no?
We are not doing flanking in this one.
That's fine. I'll stay here anyway.
Oh, I'm still sad.
Wait, hang on. What
I
did I
thought
say?
we decided we did.
Yes, no, we did do flanking. Yes, we did. So yes, flanking. Yes.
Okay, focus fire on this one with advantage.
Absolutely with advantage.
Here we go. 14.
Ooh, 14 is good enough, and 5 points of bludgeoning is more than enough.
Yeah, you like that? Stupid lizards. Okay.
Hearing Swole Voice say stupid lizard is just wrong.
You think you can rob Swole from me? No. Get used to this.
Healy, anything else for you? If not, what do we got, Gozer?
That's it.
There's only one up, right?
There's only one standing, correct.
All right, well, we shall light it on fire.
Okey-doke.
Pew! No.
Ooh, no.
My bad rolling continues.
Shake it off. Got a whole session to shake it off. With
Let's head down the road, assuming they're gonna kill him.
you guys got this. With sunlight dazzling it and robbed of pact mates with disadvantage, the kobold strikes at Thymos. Ooh, 20.
It will touch me.
It will touch. 4 points of piercing damage struck as he tries to go out with a slang. Aristana.
I can stand on top of the dead kobolds, right?
As long as you don't mind doing it.
I don't care.
Squish the head.
Oh yeah, that dispatches. So as the kobold's ball in short order, you see about them. They're carrying odd bits of trash / treasure. worthless sorts of things, doorknobs, placemats, just really weird things for a kobold to be carrying about. But it looks as though they are or were divvying up loot in their little keep area there. Now the walls are curved, and there do not appear to be any secret passages, so they must have just stopped here to divvy up the spoils.
Filthy creatures. All of them.
Can we look around the area, see if there's
Absolutely.
anything?
Absolutely, May. Go ahead and give me whatever sorts of looking you'd like to do. Perception, just take a quick peek. Investigation, if you're thoroughly researching a particular aspect.
Do kobolds tend to leave tracks and stuff?
Sure do. They have feet. Survival for tracking them.
We see nothing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Eris, you pick up 100%. They were coming up from the south towards the north. They were carrying most of the goods you see scattered about, and it looks like they were stopping to sort through and lighten the load. You can see some of the stuff that's tossed off to the side in the rubble isn't from this keep. It's from these kobolds. And you can tell by the way they were dragging it, and that there's mud and road dust on some of the items. Anybody else taking a look around?
I was just going to ask, is there a village in the direction they were coming from? Because these seem like things they would have gotten out of people's houses. Be people who are hurt.
So there's a couple of towns still along the way, heading south from here. So I'm going to flip us back over to the Sword Coast map, I think. And you guys have actually traveled a pretty good way along. You're a bit to the south of Burdusk at this point. So the kobolds could have been coming from the Greenest and Greensfield area. They could have been coming from Erebor or over to the Sunset Mountains. All of these have small villages and hamlets. The larger towns tending to be better protected and not really subject to kobold problems.
Was the 24 I got? Can I get any idea of which one it probably was of the little village area?
You'd have to continue on a ways. You guys, it's a good, let's say you're probably 15 to 30 miles from the fork in the road. Once there, you might be able to pick up which way to go, but that's almost a day's travel for you.
That keep that they were holed up in.
Mm-hmm.
You said that they were basically in there divvying up stuff.
Yeah.
Does any of the stuff look like it could have come from the keep?
Of the stuff that they were divvying up, no. This keep is long since ruined. There's barely a ring of stones left to it, and the doors have disintegrated. Whoever raised it to the ground.
Okay.
The items that they were divvying up are definitely newer. They're freshly taken from wherever they did.
I'm assuming from where I'm standing, I'm just catching a glimpse of, is this a stairway down?
That does look like a stairway down.
Okay.
I thought you said there was no like doorways or anything.
There's no. This stairway basically ends in rubble. Everything has collapsed.
Because I was going to be like, we should probably go down there and make sure that there aren't more of these guys.
You poke your head in and fairly quickly see that the tower and the footing of it have collapsed and sunken in, and likely if the kobolds could have gone down there, they would have, but this was all the cover they could find.
Gotcha. So I'm assuming sword is for decoration.
Sword is for decoration. It was a sword at one point. It's now like sword-shaped rust outline.
Gotcha. The kobold daggers.
Mm-hmm.
Decent condition?
Oh no, they're kobold daggers. I mean, you could certainly take them. They would be daggers.
Yeah, I'll pick up a pair of those.
Sure. And just go ahead and drag a pair of daggers over to your inventory.
Souvenirs. First time I've had combat in a while.
And anyone interested in bringing some household goods with them, because there's a wonderful doorknob, some placemats.
What's the doorknob made out of?
It's made out of brass. I mean, it's a fairly fancy doorknob. If you needed a fairly fancy doorknob, like it being a knob alone is fancy. Most people have the big old latches or just the slidey thing. This is a knob. You're like, ooh, this came off of an important person's house.
So, well, my main reason being I'm asking is, Keely McFeely is Forge Domain.
He is.
Do I know that?
I don't know.
Would I know that, Mr. McFeely?
Hey, I am Forge Domain. There you go.
So you guys have spent, 10 months or so making the circuit, talking to nobility, earning your place and your authority to go do your job in Greenest, and, everyone being on board with it. So you can definitely have talked that one out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pick up the doorknob and toss it at him.
Yeah, it's good quality. Nice. You could probably use it as components for something.
Hello. I'm just registering that. That's a pile of bodies.
That is a pile of bodies.
It was a pile of rocks.
I thought it was a pile of rocks too until I started processing. Wait, no, that's red. Why is there red there?
He looked at the doorknob.
Oh, they're quite old.
Wait, say that again?
The bodies are quite old. You don't think the kobolds would have had anything to do with them. They're at least 3 to 4 weeks. The camp...
And they've been left unburied?
They have been left unburied. The camp to the south, despite the fire and smoke coming off of it, does not have a fire and smoke in the fireplace.
Gotcha.
But there is outlines of, hey, camp here. It is near a water source, across a bridge, so it's a good place. And obviously, trade caravans would frequently stop there.
Yeah. So these guys dead on the ground. Said they've been there a few weeks.
Few weeks, you would guess.
So they're pretty ripe.
Oh, they're very ripe. If you want to give me a medicine, you might be able to narrow that one down a bit.
Okay. And would that medicine check also allow me to determine what they might have died from?
Sure. Ooh, good roll. So you get a little closer and you start poking about. And do me a favor, give me an Arcana as well.
Why? Okay. Apparently, I don't have proficiency in Arcana.
So
like, what?
I don't know. You take a look at the bodies, and there's something wrong. You know enough about medicine. There should be more animal marks. There should be more insect. There should be more eaten, basically. There's not. There's just a lot of decay. However, you can't quite put your finger on what would cause that accelerated decay to make these bodies look like they are weeks old, when really they've probably only lain here a day or two.
Interesting. So the bodies, do they have their armor and weapons with them still?
They do not.
Okay, so they are just flat out naked bodies.
They have remnants. The good things were taken. So the swords were taken, the shields were taken, the breastplate was taken, the leather dressings underneath, and stuff that wasn't worth unbinding is still there.
Gotcha. I'm going to call over to the cleric. and say, "Hey, we have dead bodies over here. They've not been buried. We should probably take care of that."
I guess so. Okay. Anyone have a shovel? I don't.
We could
Before
burn
we
them.
bury them, we shall check if we can locate where they're from.
Or maybe fire. Fire is always an option.
Burning them is equally legitimate.
Fire is not in my repertoire.
I'm gonna check them to try to see if I can see where they're from.
Okay. Let's see here. Go ahead and give me an investigation on that one.
You mean acrobatics, right?
Acrobatics was a good second choice, but I think investigation might take the prime on that.
Well, I'm blind.
You look them over. You get that little in the back of your throat. You know, killing people at a distance from as an archer is one thing. Really kind of poking the dead, that's something else entirely. And maybe that's not your forte.
Nope, it seems not.
I'm gonna start piling like grass and whatever will burn on top of them, and
Okay.
sacred flame until they start to go up. And I'll give a little blessing of Gond, whatever that may be.
All right. Blessing issued. Pyre created. You guys certainly have the ability to get fire started one way or another.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
get
a
a
sacred
sticker.
flame on it.
Sacred flame. Bodies are considered objects. Sacred flame only works on creatures.
Yeah, so I don't think you can sacred flame them, but we can. There you go.
Then I'll
Gozu
sacred
got you
flame the
covered.
bugs in the grass.
There you go. Gozu's got you covered with a burst of
Great.
well-placed fire.
The holy flame shall cleanse them,
Good looking out, bro.
usher them into the next phase of life.
All right. And I do got distracted by the pocket doorknob going on in the chat there. Did someone pocket the doorknob? Does someone have that in their possession?
I have it in my inventory.
Okay. You have a doorknob in inventory.
I put it as a quarter of a pound. Is
Is
that
there
what
a
you
way
guess?
for us to see the chat?
Yeah. Pull up
oh,
twitch.tv/Captain Reboot.
You got it.
Yeah, as if I could do that with my wonderful
Did
internet.
you also know that if you have Amazon Prime, you can associate it with your
I know, I don't.
and
Subscriptions
get
are
a free
welcome.
subscription.
There you go.
Hey, now that wasn't Craig with the Insta plug.
That was a nice plug. Well done, guys. So yes, followers, subscribers, always appreciated. We do really like that. And if you do have that free Twitch Prime and you're not giving that free money to someone else, we take your free money because you do get a free subscription if you've got Amazon Prime. So let's see here. You guys have defeated the kobolds. You have investigated the bodies. You have acquired a doorknob. And Craig, you'd mentioned making it an early evening. Should we wrap it up about here?
No, I'm good. I'm good for now.
You good for a bit?
Yeah, man.
And I'm not sleeping, so you guys enjoy.
All right. So we will go ahead and move you guys on to the town of Greenest. Oh, hang on. That's a full day's travel. Someone do me a favor, and before I move you over to the town of Greenest, roll
I got it.
Wait.
roll a
Wait.
roll a d20.
Wait.
Roll a d20.
I cast Cure Wounds on Eris.
Well, it's a full days, which assumes that we get a long rest in there.
It's
You guys would
nothing.
get a short rest in there if you want to take a short rest. If you want to take a long rest, you're gonna have to camp out.
Yeah, screw it. I'll burn the hit die for the short rest.
Okay. So go ahead and take the advantages of your short rest.
Oof, that was too good.
And if someone would be so kind as to roll me a d20, you want to roll high.
No, that rules me out of rolling it.
I got a 5.
Ooh, 5 is not high enough. So we do not quite reach. The area yet. So let's go ahead and do a little clearing here.
So we did not even go where those little tents are before we actually left.
Well, we're actually going to use that side of the map in just a second. We're gonna reuse a map here. Gonna clear that out. We're gonna pretend that is your next waypoint. Where you guys are like, okay, we can take a little break. And as you arrive, you find some folk there. Come on out, folk.
Have we crossed the bridge?
You have crossed the bridge, and you're actually a couple of miles down the way, and you come across the next way station. And at the next way station, you guys see 3 folks sitting out by a fire cooking a meal. There may be more inside the tent. You're not sure at this point, but you've got 3 folk outside, just sitting around having a jaw. Make these people happen here. 1, 2, 3. All hanging out.
So
And
you had
Okay.
said earlier that there was no fire in the camp place.
there was no fire in that camp place. We're pretending you guys have traveled several miles down the
Gotcha.
way. And as you come across the next way stations are spaced out about every 6 to 8 hours of travel. And it's basically a place for a fire pit, people to bed down. And it's usually as close as they can get to water, something else. This one just happens to be the tents, the fire pits, and a place to tie mounts off to. Grass that's been eaten too many times. So let's come on down. And get rid of that turn order. As you guys draw up, he called you. Oh there.
Hey, how's it going?
Well,
Uh,
hello, Suz.
Well, hello to you too. Y'all heading south?
We are.
Oh, good on you and good luck to you. All kinds of nonsense going on down there.
Nonsense. Like what?
Oh, just old fleet of foot come up out of there. Hooting and hollering, carrying on. Drunk as skunks. Just mess.
Huh, but they're not hurting anyone today.
Didn't hurt us. Of course, we didn't stick around. I mean, bushes
I
are there
mean-
for a reason.
I mean, no harm, no foul, right?
I guess not. Tore up the road something fierce. And he points down to where there's some ruts in the dirt. Looks like an overladen wagon. And people driving the horses a little harder than maybe they should. For those of you who know about such things. The rest of you just see a muddy road.
Might have encountered some deep ruts in my travel.
Sure.
So where are you guys off to?
We're heading up north ourselves. Gonna get up Baldur's Gate, make a little money.
Hey, what do you do?
Well, what you need done.
I see.
I have a need. How much to hire?
Well, depends on what you need doing. I mean, porter's work ain't glamorous, but strong backs and all. If you're talking guarding, a little bit more expensive, taking a little risk. If you're talking little something else, might be a little something extra. What you need?
We have need for guides. We're new to this area.
Well, sure. Well, where are you headed? Specifically,
Greenest.
of course, I know south, but south's pretty easy to find.
We are heading to Greenest.
Oh, Greenest. Well, that's very simple. We can guide you there. I mean, if you want to save a little money, we'll give you directions. If you want the escort, I think extra couple of days won't do us any harm. Maybe swing around the long way to Baldry.
Can I make an insight check on these guys, Casey?
Sure, absolutely, May.
Oof. I only did that because they have a red health bar above them. So.
So everyone who doesn't have a death save will have a red health bar.
Okay.
And that's a lot of townsfolk too. So be kind to your townsfolk, certain people. These look like disreputable folk, but they don't seem threatening. Just generally disreputable.
Okay. Mercenary type.
Mercenary type, maybe a little on the shadier side of mercenary, but, you know, probably if you kept an eye on them, you could have them carry your stuff.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to relay that. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me have a... Okay. Team meeting. Let's go. Get close. Hey, these guys seem like they're okay. A little shady, but if you want to hire them, I only have 15 gold pieces, so it's not like I don't know what their price is. There's 3 of them. They seem reputable enough.
Why would we hire people?
If they can provide directions, that should be sufficient.
Yes. All we need is a little bit of information. They are giving the information freely. We do not need them to come with us.
Okay, you sold me. Good pitch. Okay. I'll go back to them. All right, guys. I think we'll just take the directions this time.
Here I was hoping to go to Greenest, but, fair enough. Come on over here. And he wipes a little bit of a dirt flat, and he starts drawing a bit of a map for you. And we'll flip back over to the map just so you can see where you guys are at. And he draws just, a big kind of Y shape and then a squiggly line. And he says, all right, so right now you're on this side of the river. Points, he said, that's the river. You're on this side of the river. He points, he's like, all right, and what you're going to do when you get down, you're going to see a big fork. You cannot miss this. The wagons go 2 ways. You're going to stick to the right. Now, after about a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, you're going to cross the river. If you don't cross the river, you went the wrong way. Okay? Once you cross the river, just follow the track. Now, little tricky getting through the green fields. It is just grass. And if there hasn't been a wagon through in a while, pretty easy to lose the track. What you want to make sure you do, find a rut, follow it. Okay? Make sure it's a rut that's got a couple along with it. Otherwise, you might just be heading off towards some hamlet or some farmer's field. Grass, it's going to spring right back up, but the dirt under the grass, that's going to stay down for a while. So watch your ankles. Easy to roll them. Stick with the ruts.
Is there a place to cross the river? Do we have to hire someone there to do it?
Oh no, you get you across. There's a little bit of a ford kind of going on there. They got a little bridge. It's an operation. Maybe pay a couple of copper. Don't pay gold. If they charged you gold, you're just talking to the wrong person.
All right. Anything on the road we should watch out for? Bandits, stuff like that?
You always want to keep an eye out for bandits, but
anything in particular?
Aside from those yahoos that went through, there hasn't been much trouble. You hear things here and there, but
Yeah.
Nothing I'd say, you're through most of the worst. The closer you get to Scornoble, more likely you're really going to come up with trouble. But this far south, you're almost near to Erebor. And greenest, I mean, there's not much in greenest, but just like I said, there's not much, so not a lot of bandits hanging around.
All right.
We hope to change that. Go ahead.
You said that you had wanted to go to Greenest, though. Why would you want to go there if there's nothing there?
Well, the money, really.
Oh,
Just trying to get a deal here. You know, if you guys say, hey, let's see here. Here's let's say 2 gold each of us. Take the long way around. We'll go to Greenest, swing down your get some good drinks, back up through Baragast up the coastway. We'll hit Baldur's Gate in a while. Put us behind a little bit, but 2 gold's 2 gold.
We do not have those funds yet. However, we are hoping to become assets for Greenest to help save what is there. In fact, I tossed them a copper each. I'm sure in a couple of weeks' time, if you stop by, you'll be pleased to find us again in dissimilar roles. We shall welcome you.
Oh, we are given some money? Okay.
Information and helpful.
I pull out 3 gold pieces. We
Okay.
given you money. Here you go.
Well,
And they take like they were like, you're a charitable person to the first, and then when the gold comes out, they're like, you sir, you're a gentleman. I mean, I ain't never seen the likes of you. I'm hoping to some more. Where are you from? They tip this well everywhere.
Well, your coin here is a little different. We don't trade in shiny metal.
Really?
Yes.
Well, if what do you trade in? I mean, there's something if I got something you want, son, you just let me know.
Yeah. We mainly look out for each other. We trade for things that other people need. Really.
Wow.
It's I think I've heard the term here a few times. A bartering system.
Yeah. Get that more up north. Furs and such. Baldur's Gate, Score Noble. I mean, they run with the coin. There's a fair bit of bartering too, but you folk, you need anything else, you let us know. I mean, we'll be up Baldur's Gate way. I mean, not likely you're gonna find us again. I mean, it's a big place.
Let people know that heroes have come to save Greenest, and you have met them. They are charitable to folk.
That's absolutely. I can see it.
Yes,
I can see it each of you. I mean, he's kind of looking at Eris for a moment. He's like, yeah, hero. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah. He's a little bit of a scamp, maybe himself. So there's maybe a little something there that's not quite hero lineup just yet, Eris. But how about a charisma, if you would, or persuasion, some sort of roll to show you're showing your hero side rather than you're eyeing up his gold side.
So
maybe just a little too intent on the gold and copper piece in his palm.
This actually brings up something that I meant to bring up for her earlier.
Sure.
She gets persuasion. What is it? Persuasion or perception from like 3 different sources?
It's perception. I get perception from being a high elf. I can get it from being a rogue, and I get it from my sailor background.
If it doesn't give you that little, if you already have this, take another one, then it doesn't give you a freebie. If it does give you if you already have this, take another one, then you do get the freebie.
Okay.
And I'll double check on those. Usually it's in the wording of whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Like a lot of them say, if you already have this, take this, or take from these 3.
Yeah.
If it doesn't say that, then it is a double up.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. So that's gonna be pretty low either way.
Yeah.
So he just, I mean, he kind of gives you the eye. He's like, gonna put this in my inside pocket, and good luck to you, Fokin. Have a great day. And as soon as they got the gold tucked away in the copper, they're packing up and ready to move out before somebody changes their mind.
Yes, it was good meeting you. If you happen to need us or move anything down, we will be down in Green.
Absolutely. And your names again. You guys all gave your name?
Oh, yes, I am Timos.
We are Gozer.
I'm Petey.
Healy. Yeah.
I'm Hamo.
I go by Aristata.
Aristana. All right. Good folk. Good folk. Thank you. And, make sure, take the right, cross the river, watch the ruts.
What is your name, bro?
Simon.
Simon?
Simon.
Simon.
And your two friends?
They don't speak
Garfunkel and Oates.
What?
Theodore and Alvin, perhaps?
Well, it's surprising. You have a little bit of the foreshadow, the eye, the sight. As that is Theodore, and there's over there. Yeah, absolutely. That's Simon.
We are blessed and cursed.
Theodore. Well, I don't know. It's just a way to be. So there you go. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
Okay. It's nice to meet you.
Which one is the short and
I love your
one?
Christmas album, by the way. Christmas time of year. Something cheer. You know how it goes.
Yes, I think we should be moving on. We have the information we need.
All right. So Alvin, Simon, and Theodore all continue on with only the best things to say of the heroes heading to Greenest. That's what I get for not naming the NPCs before I get to you guys.
We're going to ask.
That's okay, we'll name them anyway.
That's all right. We'll get them in there. So the trio continues on, and you guys head towards fancy tavern, free runs of ale. Let's see here. Cool. All right. So that is going to get you guys to the river and onward. I do need that D20.
I had gotten a 5.
D20 already happened. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
I thought that was a random encounter already.
Oh, no, that was who you just met. So give me another D20 for the rest of the way.
I got this.
High is good.
Oh, dang.
We might be getting that goblin ambush that was mentioned earlier.
Goblins?
Sorry, everyone.
I'm sorry, Casey. What was that?
Was it goblins?
Yes.
It's not goblins. It's kobolds. It's not goblins. No goblins. All right. Let's go ahead and scoot us over to the appropriately labeled random battle mat.
Question: Are we doing milestone, XP, or a little of both?
You guys will be doing XP. There will occasionally be catch-ups if anybody falls behind or if you hit a particularly large milestone in a creative fashion. But at this point, you guys have earned XP for 6 kobolds, which I will get divided out for you guys. You've also got an encounter with Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
Do.
And you may have inspired a musical number. We'll figure that one out later on. If I need art for goblins, I paint them. Oh, cool. Currently, I use the tokens from the set, but if anyone has tokens to suggest, I am more than happy to use other folks' tokens. But at this point, it is not goblins we need. It is to drag folks over So if you guys can drag yourself onto the battle mat, which hopefully you can see, you guys are going to be on the eastern side of the map, so the right-hand side. And I'm going to draw in a pair of wagon tracks.
Hey, Casey.
Yep.
Can you do whatever you did for me last time, since I still have not decided on a picture?
I think you just drag yourself over. And it should give you something. If not, let me know. That's a wagon truck. And that's a wagon truck. And you'll notice these wagons are very shoddily made because the wagon wheels differ in size as they roll along. Sometimes narrower, sometimes not.
Some high quality build right there.
That is the best. The best. So let's bring up some familiar faces, but not at all the same sorts of people.
Is that Dave? Their friend?
It is not Dave, their friend.
Is this a Squeakle?
Oh, a Squeakle? Really? That's... Oh, boy.
Wait, you're blaming me for chipmunk jokes?
You
brought this on yourself.
For the Squeakle chipmunk jokes, we're gonna... So, let's go ahead and roll a very important roll. Ooh. All right. I am going to need a perception check from each of you, and the number to beat is a 21.
Ugh. Yeah, mine barely goes up that high. Oh!
Wow.
I'm good. I got
Crushing
it.
it, folks. Crushing it. So what that means, Healy and Eris, you will not be able to act on the first turn. So one initiative round will pass before you can act. The others will be able to react as normal. They are not surprised.
Okay.
So go ahead and add yourselves onto that initiative order.
I gotta do something about my initiative rolling.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'd hope that like a different game would give me better rolls, but
Hey, shaking out the bugs now. Oh, and by the way, at the end of this session, heading into the next session, if anyone sees stuff on their sheet that like, that did not work the way I hoped it would, you can go ahead and do some edits, finalizing for next week. So let's go ahead and sort ourselves into descending order. David, unfortunately, did not beat the set, so he is caught flat-footed despite his speed, and that brings up our first evil bad guy who leaps out of the high grass, rushing towards you with a scimitar, bloodlust in his eyes.
You gotta readjust again the roll because I had a 16. I had to edit it.
Oh, you had a 6. Oh, you were on a 20 something, 20.18. Or did you roll a 16?
He
It was a 16
accidentally
before that.
double-clicked.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, hang on. I just
No, somehow it did not go on the tone order. I had to re-click.
Oh.
gotcha. All right, so that's all right. You won't go first anyway. But that's going to bring up our first cultist who rushes forward 20, 30
Cultist.
feet. Yeah, cultist. Evil bad guy.
So competition then.
Could be a bad guy. Who knows? He is going to draw up and then stop. 20, 30 feet. And stop. Looks like the trap was sprung a little early. Chemo flat-footed. Thymos not
No,
flat-footed.
I had the 21.
Oh, you had the 21. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not flat-footed.
Well,
He's not flat-footed. He gets it.
Yeah, it's.
I can.
healing.
oh,
he said-
I see. I'm sorry. Yes, that was me misreading who was who. Chemo. There we go.
So I shall move right here to have clear eyesight,
Yep. Sure do.
and I shall attack.
Absolutely may. Person in the lead.
Yes, first one. There's a 23 hit.
23 is going to hit very hard. 6 points of damage dealt. Arrow right in the shoulder. He sort of shrugs it off and resets himself.
And I'm gonna move back behind somebody else.
Okay. Thymos, did you get a pass?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Go ahead and take the action.
1 second. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we's attacking these guys. Okay. I don't see what they've done wrong to us, but okay. And I'm going to.
They're coming at us threateningly, correct?
They are. They are running towards you with scimitars.
Well, that's what he said. That's why I'm attacking.
So I will move to there.
As
This is
soon
a
as you step within reach, the cultist unleashes his readied action and swings a scimitar at you.
That's fine.
18
We'll miss.
is a miss.
I am
Alrighty.
not seeing his rolls, by the way.
I'll fix that. Thank you for calling me out. I must have Whisper set on. I do. That is now fixed, and I will fix it for the rest of the sheets. I always forget that one.
This
Thank
is a stand your ground kill. Like
you. All right.
Trayvon Martin.
Go for it.
Yep. So bonus action. This guy is getting the Hexblade Curse.
He is now Hexblade Cursed.
And I'm just going to pop that again. And I'm going to turn my attention to him, and
Okay.
my normal action will be to swing a sword.
Swing a sword.
Swing a sword. Actually, yeah, I'll swing the sword.
That's
20
a
for
heck of a
10.
swing. You dispatch him quickly. He falls to the ground dead.
May the goddess guide your soul.
Any additional action, bonus action, etc.?
Action, bonus action. I moved 15 feet. You know what? Since he's dispatched, I will actually move within range of the second guy.
And he does take his held action.
Yep,
Scimitar swing.
I miss.
8 is a miss. And any additional movement?
That'll be it.
That's it. Healy McFeely,
I am surprised.
you are surprised.
What?
What? Rushing forward, drawing up to either side. The cultist swings now with advantage.
Miss.
13, not gonna do. Aristana surprised?
Yep.
All right. Gozer.
You
Surprised?
are unimpressed. No, I am not.
All righty.
Can I see? Can I see the guy that's passed?
Yes.
Almost. Okay.
Yep. They all started rushing forward with scimitars. They just mistimed. Ooh, 13 is going to miss due to the cover provide. Do you have anything to offset cover?
Oh, I thought. I'm sorry. I didn't phrase that correctly. I thought me having line of sight was
Oh,
for a
sorry.
spell.
You
was
have
okay.
you have line of sight. You do have line of sight, but they have person in the way, so +2 to the armor class.
I mean, I'm not
Okay.
shooting. It's a bolt that's guided. But okay. I mean, if that's your thing.
It's an attack roll. But that
Sure,
doesn't.
but it's
Yep.
magic.
Yeah, that's
fine. I'll move. If
That'll
that
do
makes
it.
you feel better. Okay.
Yep. You got it. And that'll hit.
Okay.
And that's what 20 points of damage.
Yeah, it's a guiding bolt. It does some stuff.
46.
It does do some stuff.
Wow. Yeah, there's no more of him. Just
Tremble at our power.
So, Casey, just
Yeah.
to confirm, we are doing full-on cover rules, correct?
Normal
Apparently.
cover rules, no friendly fire.
No friendly fire. Gotcha.
No friendly fire.
That's my turn.
Alrighty. That's going to bring up a dead cultist. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the turn order. Everybody can now take actions as their turn comes up. The cultist south of Thymos strikes with advantage due to flanking scimitar.
Miss.
17, no. Hymo, it is to you.
It's kind of neat to have a tank. It's the first time we had one. I think
Hey.
it works.
Hey, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
I knew this was gonna come
Your
out.
AC wasn't high enough to be true tank, though.
This cuts me to the bone, but yes, that's a grim but accurate assessment. Don't talk until you're doing 27 damage per turn, okay? attack.
I'm gonna take north since I live north. No, I'm gonna take the X one.
Okay, Hex 1 attacking. Go ahead. Yep, that's a good hit, but reeling and standing, he remains. Get that down there.
What does the X do?
Basically, if I attack it on a 19 or a 20, I get critical. And when it dies, I regain hit point.
So no additional bonus. Any movement?
Oh,
for you
and I
there?
gain bonus damage against the creature.
Sure do. And Dave, any movement or additional bonus action?
There you go.
Alrighty. That's gonna bring up Thymos. Thymos,
One to the north.
one to the north.
Actually, what do I want to do to him? You know what? Let's make him make a saving throw.
Okay. What kind of saving throw are we gonna make?
Wisdom, please.
All right. Why am I doing that?
Toll the dead.
Ooh.
Only works on creatures that have lost hit points.
No, it doesn't.
It
That's
deals
the
more
second.
damage.
Yeah, it deals more damage if they've lost hit points.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
So
Let's
if he
see.
fails, he takes 5. And he fails, so he
fails.
takes 5 necrotic.
5 necrotic damage. It burns, but he remains standing. Any additional action for you?
Can't really do anything with my bonus action unless if you're going to allow me to stab him with a dagger afterwards.
Have to take an attack to do that.
Yeah, so then no, I'm good. And besides, I'm wielding a shield.
Fair enough. So Healy, it is to you.
Okay. Healy is going right here. Attack with advantage.
Now
Miss
attacking with advantage. Ooh, that is a miss.
terribly.
Anything else you got there?
No, I'm gonna get you next time, bro. God be praised.
Take you apart first, you smell a little. And it's growling and cursing at you.
Good comeback, Lindsay.
But the attack goes towards Thanos, who is doing a bit of damage to them. Advantage, strike,
Miss.
16. Wowzers. You are a tough one to hit. Aristana.
I'm moving in. Can I hit them?
Okay. Yes. Yes, you do. And with that rapier, you dispatch him quickly.
I didn't like him threatening Bailey.
Yeah, girl.
It seems
You
you
know.
did not.
You could always surrender.
Nah.
You know what? Give me a quick intimidation.
Sure.
You guys tore them apart. He looks like he's seriously considering it, but not quite.
Your loss. My associate will cut you down.
And Gozer. Wait a second.
Oh,
What
here's
do I
my
do?
associate now.
Aristana, any bonus action or movement?
Oh no, good.
Okay, Gozer then. Yes, sorry.
Yes, the thing about life, it's so fragile.
Ooh, that wisdom save does not make
So he takes 2.
2, but that is enough. He
Why
falls.
does he take 2?
Because it's.
Oh, no, wait. No, hang on. That's on
Failed.
save.
He failed it.
Oh.
No, you got it. You got it right. He takes the 5.
Yeah, he does take the 5. Yours rolls the d12 first. Mine rolls the d8 first.
Sorry, I misread it, but you are correct. And he falls. Whoa.
Yeah, that's the way I guess they're right, because you have to make it. It's not in here.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I always do the lowest dice number first.
That's
Just kind of
balanced.
keeping
You
it-
pessimistic? I'm optimistic that this works. This guy gets it.
Just keeping it with how long swords with two-handing and all of that stuff is concerned.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
All right.
Give him opportunity.
The 4 attackers lay dead. They seem to have little possessions about them, except what they are carrying in little bundles on their back.
Any door handle?
No doorknobs. Actually, not even much in the way of coinage. But what they do have is
Hinges.
Hinges. Absolutely hinges. Or perhaps an investigation check from you folk.
That's not me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is kind of me. How about that?
No, it's definitely not Gozer, except for the 22. So Thymos and Eris, I don't know what's got you distracted.
Me too.
But
High five.
Hymo and Gozer, they find the key items, which are several masks.
I found the key. The key master?
You found the key.
Already?
It's early on, or they may be lying to you. Perhaps this is a fake key. Maybe they're just trying to get into bed. On each of the bodies, there is a small bundle of cloth wrapped around a shoddily made mask. It looks like if you were wearing it, it would give you slightly draconic features, but these masks are just awful. I mean, they look like they started life as someone's shoe or boot and were repurposed at a later time into a sort of shaped leather mask. The robes are slightly uniform in that they probably all belong to the same group, but they're dyed, reassembled patch jobs.
And with a 20, do I get back my bow? Not my bow, but my arrow?
Arrows, we'll go with the simplified version of you retrieve half of them. So if you shoot two, you retrieve 1. If you shoot 1, it's lost forever.
Okay.
Can we roll something to see if we can tell anything about where these masks are from or what they're for?
Sure. So let's start off with either a history or a religion.
Oh, more things I'm actually okay at.
Wowzers.
I didn't mean to get 2 of them, but
Good either way.
Apparently, if I'm not stabbing things, I'm not interested.
It may not be something that you're particularly thrilled
It's
with.
the heresy that's coming out.
All right. So Gozer, I think you maybe aspire to have outfits like this among your followers one day. It seems
More classy.
religious, a little more classy, of course, upscale. But it certainly strikes you as something that would be cult/ritual-ish. And these thugs look to be about the type that would participate at the lowest possible level. Now, Healy, you make similar conclusions, also drawing on these do look like draconic masks. So you would think of some of the evil aligned dragon worshippers. There's a fair number of them out there. Each dragon, once it reaches a certain power, tends to draw followers to itself, as well as the dragon gods that are out there.
I hope they did the same thing.
All right. And with that, each of the... So, good.
I was about to say, can we take their valuables and pyre them as well?
You can certainly do so. The thugs and cultists each have on them a scimitar. They each have on them a small amount of gold. And would someone who would like to take the responsibility for it roll me a d10? That much gold will be found amongst the bodies.
I'm feeling it.
Feeling it?
Feeling
D10,
it.
please.
So 4 scimitars.
No, I'm not.
4 scimitars are available. If you wish to carry them, please drag them to your inventory.
I'm just doing it for the loot list.
Okay. Somebody's got to
have
drag them
an-
to inventory.
We do.
Yep, we're gonna do encumbrance.
Oh.
4 sim.
That's
and-
unfortunate.
So there are 4 scimitars available. You guys do have a trick that should help you out with that sort of stuff, but we'll get into that part later. And they
Mr.
did
McFeely.
find 1 gold piece on each cultist. It looks like that was their pay recently, perhaps, because
Are
they
you
all
telling
have
us
the
we
same
got a
vintage.
bag of holdings?
Oh, no bag of holding yet. Oh, that's
No,
a
we
nice
can-
item, though.
Metal. We can.
It is.
That might have been a D1000 item.
We have a. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask, how can you tell how much you're supposed to be able to carry? Was that in the book?
It's
That's going to
15
be...
times your strength score.
Yep, 15 times your strength score.
Oh.
You're better
And
than I am.
it should be...
You
it
got
should
90,
be
I
in
got
your...
75.
Yeah, it should be on your sheet doing the math. If not, we'll make sure your sheets are all set up to do the math for you as you add stuff to it.
How much do scimitars weigh?
If you just drag it over, it'll tell you.
I don't really particularly enjoy these bladed weapons that much.
They weigh 3.
McFeely,
Yo,
we've been talking. I know you forge stuff. Perhaps you can forge these things into more valuable things later.
sure. Level 6. Whatever that is.
So,
Wow, we
so,
hope-
so McFeely is our holding tanks.
I think so. Until
I
we
like
have
it.
a
I can
warehouse.
take them. I can carry 195 pounds, so
Jesus.
I'll take 3 scimitars.
You are by far the
4.
strongest of us all.
4.
It
4
would be my,
scimitars.
be my 13 strength, yeah. So,
That's better than the 5, 6, and 8 that 3 of us have.
whoa, you can have a 5 strength?
We rolled.
Oh. Suckers. Okay. Let's see.
I hate to be that person, but can we take the 5-minute break?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, what I was going to say is we'll probably wrap the adventure stuff here and switch back to chatting because you guys are going to hit greenest. You have made it the rest of the way, and then it's going to be a bit more talking and just kind of sorting out from there. So go ahead, take 5 to 10, grab drinks, whatever, and then we'll pick up and discuss and clean up, and I'll add in some macros and things that I forgot and fix my sheets. And for the folks in the chat, thanks a ton for joining us. This was the session 0 So we had no idea how far or not we were going to get. We got a couple of little combats in here, which is awesome. I got to realize how many of my macros I was missing and how many of my sheets I need to fix. So we'll get all that done and developed. And then next week, we'll be kicking off officially with session 1, which will be starting out the entitled crew in Greenest on the tails of the orphans. And we might have to do a little wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey to make everything work out.
Question.
Figure it out from there.
Should we, you know what we should do, guys? Instead of just firing all of them, perhaps I heal one of them, and we tell them who we are, and then he runs off into the wild to spread our legend.
So the only problem with that is red health bar, no death saves, they are dead.
Murdered him.
Ding. Could have knocked one unconscious.
Could
right?
have, but I didn't hear anybody say doing non-lethal damage.
You didn't say that we'd killing them.
I just read health
It
bar,
was
no death saves.
it was explicitly stated at least 3 times.
I know, man. I know. I'm trying. Come on.
One of
I'm
those
just asking
forms
for,
in
like,
text.
Spread the rumor.
Yeah.
So
Not
Keep that in
asking
mind
for
for the
much.
next encounter.
yeah, so that's so basically sitting there hanging the dead guy. You know, this would be really cool if we kept one of these guys alive next time. Yeah, it would, boss.
Free advertising.
It just makes me less image meaner I am. Join us in maybe 2 to 3 sessions there, Dev. You'll see some monsters that'll be a little more than drag them from the monster sheet over here, because everybody's getting used to some brand new stuff. I tend to ease in on the first one rather than kill somebody with a mistake made.
Don't worry, he's ruthless.
I wouldn't say ruthless.
I call him
Let's just
evil,
say
right?
that he has a very high tendency to roll very good.
That's a complete fallacy. My dice rolls are average,
No,
just like
but
everyone else. I just delight in your
that's
suffering
not
more.
true.
He rolls decently, except whenever he's playing.
Craig is herbal. Rolling.
It's actually correct. That is factually.
No offense, it's just stating
It's just the way it
facts.
goes. Yeah, that's true. I
Absolutely.
cannot refute that.
Casey does well until I decide I'm going to keep one of his animal monsters.
Oh, why would you do that? My poor monsters. Oh, poor Matt.
Matt.
I miss Matt.
Pour
That's
one out
all
for
right.
Matt.
There is thankfully far more chance of finding pleasant pets in the Sword Coast than there is in Barovia. And to Dev and Macabre, I also very much enjoy running monster and villain crews, but that would not work out with the current setup. That is, I think, what's going to happen in the next set of sessions, because I can feel everybody wants to be evil and, maybe partake in wholesale slaughter. So we'll see how that one goes for the next set of sessions. Also, we've got the Doom Vault that we need to run one off at, and that is weapons free all the time. So we've got that going. But let's see if we can bring up the greenest map here. Let's drag you guys over here. And this is a ginormous map. So Dave, it might take it a second or two to load when it does zoom way out, because it is ridiculous.
What you saying? Are you saying my internet is really horrible here in the middle of nowhere in Canada?
I'm saying your service people laugh about your wires, and we know it.
You get that right, but they changed it after I yelled at them
It's
3
like,
times.
I see the map changing. That means Sin's still awake. Sin, get to bed. What are you doing? Captain Reboot, go get some sleep.
At first, I thought you were fussing at me. I was like, but
No, sorry. The other one.
Yes. CIN.
All right. Thanks for all for joining the stream. The stream's going to kick off. Have a great night. we're going to do some cleanup on our end, and we will see you Sunday.
Bye.
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 Love
Thank you.
Bye.
It
Come
was good
back.
having you.